Hey, this is Eddie with the Crippled Handyman. Welcome back. Today I want to talk about things that you can do to save on your utility bills. And it's going to cover things you could do with, saving with your electric, your gas, and your water. So let's dive into it and let's get started. Let's start with electric. What can you do to save on your electric bill? One, if we're all older and if you ever heard growing up, hey, shut the lights off after you leave that room, that still is true today. Regardless, we do have better lights. We have LED bulbs versus incandescent, and that's still true today. You may not think it's a lot, or even a TV, leaving a TV on in a room. These are really important to make sure that you do not leave a light on. After you come out of the room, you just leave every light on in the house. That will definitely give you a little bit more higher of an electric bill. But for those of you that are looking, ways on how to cut your utilities, stay with this channel or stay on this video, and I will continue on. And I hope you enjoy it. And maybe some of these suggestions I'm sure you probably heard of, but I've been taking things a little bit more seriously this year of 2023. And I've been doing it the whole time I've been in this house. It's only been just over a year. And when you get a new home, you see a difference with utilities from the home you're in versus the previous home. And you're trying to figure out, well, why is this bill higher than that other home? And square footage, same square footage. The different, I know this house, the other house, there's a different. This is a raised ranch, and the other house, it was a ranch. Everything was flat on one level versus this is divided. It's like a two-story. So I would have thought that my bills in this house would have been less than the other house. And there's reasons why it's more, a couple things. And the other house was older too. This was built in 1977. The other house was built in 1955. But let's get back to it. All right, electric. Walking out of a room, turn your lights off. And that's, I know I mentioned that already, but that's bigger than you think. I know sometimes you have fans in every room, ceiling fans. If the ceiling fan is on and you're not in that room, why leave it on? Turn the ceiling fan off. Another thing that could help with your electric bill is check your furnace filter. Your furnace filter, if it's dirty, the motor is going to run harder and it's going to be drawing more amps during that cycle. And the furnace is going to run longer, and that's also going to be an impact on your electric bill. So make sure you have a clean furnace filter. I recommend, depending on how if you live in an area there's construction all over, check your filter every month. But if it's already a developed area, you should check them every 3 months. And especially if you have pets, make sure you check the furnace filter every 3 months. Just change it out every 3 months, and that will help you with your utility bills on your gas, even your electric and even your gas. So yeah, it's yeah. So just make sure those lights are off, and wherever the room you're not in that's not being used, just shut off the lights. What else can affect electric? Obviously, it's a combination of electric and gas. So your windows, like behind me, if you have old windows and say they leak in the winter months, you feel cold air coming through. A couple of things that I do in this home, I doubt I'll ever replace these existing windows on in these areas here. They're a wood window, but when these are honeycomb blinds, and I close the blinds every single night. Every time, when the sun goes down, the blinds come down, and that's been making a huge difference in my utility bills, because that cold air penetrates through into the house, and it's a big difference for my home. So if your home, you have older windows, whether you have louver blinds, the horizontal, close them, shut them, it will help that cold air just free flowing into the home as easy as it does. Sounds like that doesn't do anything, but believe it or not, that little bit where it helps restrict that cold air from coming in, it's no different why people put that on their car windshield from the sun beating out on their dash. They put that visor up there and to keep the car, even if it's 5 degrees cooler when they get in their car. Another thing is on your doors, feel around the doors, and feel if you see if there's any drafts. A thing that you could do if the door, if you could push on the door, there'll be movement on the door from the weather stripping on the door itself. And here, let me show you on my door. See, on my door, I got this real good weather stripping. If your door is missing that weather stripping, they sell like little foam kits with adhesive on the back you can put around the door on all 3 sides. And also the strike plate when the door shuts, if it's not shutting, if it needs to get pushed in a little bit further, take the screws out, recut the door trim, and you could push the strike plate back, even if it's a 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch, whatever you need to get that seal on. This door here, when I shut it, you can see it, the movement I have. Well, at this point, I feel cold air. Well, this won't lock, the deadbolt. I have to push the door in order to get the door in, or in order to lock the door. And that makes a nice complete seal around the whole door. And also your threshold. A lot of times, that's in a lot of homes, the threshold is also a culprit of major leaks in a home. And see those 4 screws, those 4 Phillips screws? Those are adjusting. This threshold will raise or lower. So you could adjust that threshold by loosening or tightening those screws. So that's another thing. And just make sure the door is all set when doors are shut. They have these other the weather stripping. This is a foam pad. Just keeps everything tight and sealed throughout the door. And that's another way on how to save on your utility costs. And as you can see, I'll show you real quick. That window, those are 4-foot panels. That's a 12-foot by 6-foot window. 5.5 feet, almost 6 feet. And these are 8-foot by 8-foot. Well, 8-foot by 6 feet. 8-foot by 6 feet. Figure that's a 6x7 door. That's a new door. I sealed it with foam. I still have to trim the window, but the windows and doors in your home definitely can make a difference in your utility costs. So we covered lights, windows and doors, your furnace filter, and what else can you think of besides those main criterias? Another thing is, yes, for electric and gas both, if you have an old furnace, if you have I understand if, those of you just can't replace a furnace. I mean, I know companies do have special financing if necessary, your furnace does go down, but at least putting an 80% furnace I know people are putting 90% furnaces in. I was in the HVAC world as well, and I just didn't, unless you know you're going to stay in the home 15, 20 plus years, a 90%er would make sense, because due to the dollar cost, you break it down over time. I've always been a fan of just doing 80%ers, but that's me myself, because the return on my money was a little bit quicker, and but that could be debatable, and it's your personal preference. I just to save that upfront cost, I'm not going to do a 90%er by doing these other steps. A more efficient furnace in general will cut down your fuel costs in electric. Next thing is your thermostat. Having like a programmable thermostat where you could adjust the time at nighttime to go down to a lower temperature, and then have your furnace kick on. Say if you wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and you have it kick on at 5:45, so you're at that comfortable temperature while you're in the kitchen making your breakfast and whatnot, getting ready to go to work. And then you can have it go back down while you're at work all day long to 65 degrees, and then right before you get home, you can have the furnace kick back on. So I really highly recommend the thermostat to be programmable. I'm not a fan of the internet ones where the Nest, that's just me, but as long as you control your temperatures in the home somehow from day and night, that will also that will help your utilities as well. I'm home all day long, so I don't do that. Even when we go to bed, I just do it. I just do it manually. I just don't do it the override on hold, because I just didn't program it to see at what time we go to bed. So we have 3 zones in the home, and yeah, so a programmable thermostat will help you also save your utility costs. So we covered filter, lights, thermostat, more efficient equipment in your home, your windows and doors, making sure you have good seals on all those, having blinds, close the blinds at night. And I'm not sure what else more you can do. I'm sure there's more. Yes, there is more. Check the insulation in your attic. Make sure you have at least an R30. You want at least a 12-inch layer in the attic, minimum. My attic has about 15 inches. It was there when I bought the home. So when I popped my head up there, it was an R19 bat. And there was about 6 to 8 inches of the fluffy white insulation on top, blown in insulation on top of that. And that itself is a huge energy savings on having good insulation in your attic. These all the other things, you could get them perfectly, and if you find out you only have an R19 value in your attic, your heat is going right through the roof, and in the summertime, the heat's penetrating through that ceiling. But that would be the top priority is insulation on that. You could go a step further. You could insulate all your hot water pipes to keep the water more temp. If you have pipes going through a garage, or even though the garage is temped, but keeping those pipes insulated, that will help also on the gas side and the water side, because how much water are you using by the time you're taking a shower, and how long does it take for your water to get to temperature? I know ours, it does take, because it goes through our garage, it takes about 40 seconds. At the sink, it takes 40 seconds. At the spout, because it pumps a lot more volume quicker, I think it takes almost 30 seconds. I'm trying to figure out how to improve that. I started insulating those pipes, but even myself, I've been here a year, and I've been trying to get things better for insulating the home to make my utility bills a little bit more, I won't say, I guess I could say affordable, but in the place where I'm comfortable with. You know, my gas bill last month, it was December, was $228. And I know the biggest reason why. I have a gas fireplace up on this main floor. I have a gas fireplace on the first floor. And my daughter was using hers. I was using mine. And the gas bill did go up $71 from the previous month. And I just said, hey, no more gas fireplace to save on that bill. I think the lowest I'd ever gotten to was $51 in the summer months. And even that seems high. But we're working out the kinks on this house, trying to get our utilities down. And these are just some things that you can do as well. Water. What can you do to save on your water bill? We have just under an acre lot. None of it's great. It's just wild. We got trees, and it's just natural mountain land. So we don't have to water our yard whatsoever. So that's huge. I don't have a garden up here. We're pretty high in altitude without needing a greenhouse. It's when you shower, we do really good with our water bill as far as saving on our water usage. We use just 2,100 gallons of water in a month's time, which is not bad. Keep your showers to a minimum. Don't take these long 1-hour showers. When you're brushing your teeth, don't have the tap on while you're brushing your teeth. You know, before you're ready to rinse, turn the water on. That's another way. We have a very high efficient dishwasher we had bought recently, well, last year. And that I think it uses 3 gallons of water, maybe 3 or 4, 2 or 3. It's not a lot of water that it uses. And I'd use drinking water from the fridge. But we got the water down very well. It's just a couple things. Avoid these long showers. Avoid keeping the kitchen sink water running while you're washing dishes. I've always did it when I was a kid growing up. You fill up one side of the sink with your dishwater and you wash your dishes. You turn the water on, rinse it, and put it on the counter. We don't leave the water running continuously. It's just up and down, you know, turning it on, turning it off. Yeah, it might be a pain, but that's a way you can save water. But if you have an efficient dishwasher, that'll save you just as much. You rinse the dish, and then you just let the dishwasher do its job. I know it's weird. You have to rinse everything before you wash it, before you get it rewashed. It's kind of a vicious cycle with dishwashing. But those are some ways on how you could keep your utilities bills down. And that's all I have for this segment and this segment. Thanks for watching, and hope I didn't bore you on the way. Hope you learned something. I'm sure these are things you already know, but it's just a routine that I do. And maybe if you get into the routine and seeing if you could save on energy costs, I hope it helps you guys. It's helping us. And I just want to give you these few tips that are common tips that has been out there forever. It's just the practice of doing it is the big deal. You know, the cost of electric, it's out here is 11 cents a kilowatt. And that's a lot of money. I remember it when it was 3 cents in my time, not in this particular home, but it's risen almost 4 times when I was, you know, a new homeowner back in the 90s. And yeah, so don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And the next, I'll be seeing what I could brew up next on what to talk about and how to save some money. All right, y'all. God bless. And don't forget to hit that like button. And we'll see you on the next one.